Good morning, everyone. May 10th, day 28, and happy Mother's Day. And I think my mom watches these, so if she does, happy Mother's Day to you, Mom. Today's show is going to be all about Project 2020, and we're going to revisit Bowman 2020, sort of a two-part episode on the two hottest projects right now, or releases at the moment within the tops in the baseball world. But first, yesterday morning before I filmed my video, I had to deal with these two raccoons that were on my roof. They managed, or they figured out that my maple tree on the front of my yard connects to my roof, and just a one branch overhangs. I've done a good job over the years, or over the past year, to sort of thin that out, because when we moved in, there was a branch touching literally the front window, so we cut all that back. But they figured out that they could bend the branch down and jump on the roof. And why they want to get on the roof, I have no idea. There's nothing up there. But we saw them go up the tree, jump on the roof. And so when they're on the roof, I'm kind of hopeless. I'm kind of powerless. I can't get them down. I'm not going to go on the roof to fight these raccoons or get them off, because I'll lose. So we had to just wait. And so it took them about 10 minutes, and they finally meandered around the roof, and then they ended up picking, or they stretched out and grabbed the branch that they got on the roof with, and they got themselves off. So yesterday morning, for about the first hour or two after I did my video, it was me trimming that tree around the house so they can never get back up on the roof. So hopefully these two critters never end up on my roof again. And if they do, I'll be amazed, because there's, other than climbing up like the gutter pipe, there's no way for them to get up there. So that was my morning yesterday. Hopefully there is no more raccoon issues going forward at my house, because those bad boys I do not want to mess with. But hey, let's look at Project 2020. And I also want to, like I said, revisit Bowman 2020. I was working on my numbers with Project 2020 last night, updating the website. I said, hey, let's do a quick check-in on Bowman 2020. My last video was Monday. Let's see where the prices have fallen, and let's see if they've gone up. Let's see if they've gone down. But first, let's look at the newest project, and something that I'm all in on, and that's Project 2020. So instead of you looking at me while I talk about Project 2020, let's actually look at the product, and I'll show you what I've put up on the website to sort of help everyday buyer as far as what's moving, what's not moving, things like that. So the website, of course, is crtsportscards.com. When you're on mobile, just go to menu and you'll see Project 2020 parentheses tops. When you're on desktop, it's on the top menu bar in a sense. So very simple. Just the website is Project 2020. So what I'm going to have here is the newest cards, and when the print run is announced, I will update accordingly. So obviously the last four cards, Willie Mays, Ichiro, Trout, and Gwynn, which just ended yesterday. So the Willie Mays, for example, print run was 54.59. That is the seventh largest print run out there. Ichiro was 62.07, so the sixth. So obviously both of those are in the top 10 for a print run. So you can see the general public is catching on to these. So to me, the potential margin is maybe being squeezed a bit for profitability as far as flipping these, but we'll see. I'm not about to predict how these are going to go on the secondary market. Now, we also have Mike Trout and we have Tony Gwynn. So when those get announced, I will update them accordingly, and 63 and 64. Obviously, if you want to shop these cards on eBay, just click here and it'll take you to an eBay link. And then obviously these blue boxes right here, you can click that, it'll take you to eBay, and it'll show you anything for Project 2020. So have a look at those and shop and find your favorite Project 2020 cards. Now, what I've done is I've taken all of the data and I've broken down a couple different ways. So here's the artist averages and card ranking. So this just kind of gives every artist, we're missing one. There's that Ben C, or there's I don't know his name for sure. He doesn't have a card yet, but there's 19 here. So it shows the artist, it shows the count, how many they've had, how many cards they've produced, the total made, and then what their average is. Obviously, Ben Baller right now on average has 13,000 cards produced between his three releases. And all the way down to Fucci, I presume, or I don't know how to say that at all. He only has 2 cards right now, and he's down to 1168. I think he just had one released the last couple of days. I think the Trout or something like that. I can't remember which one it is. But these will change. These will be updated every single day as far whenever the print runs get announced. On the right side here is going to be your players, the top print runs, and the bottom print run. So obviously Mike Trout has the top 2 spots, followed by Derek Jeter, numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then on the bottom, you see Dwight Gooden has the bottom 2 spots, Mariano Rivera, Ted Williams, and so on and so forth. So these will be updated, like I said, every single day there's a print run announcement. And then here's the entire checklist. This is going to be 1 through, I think it's going to be 200 cards or whatever it is. So this is just going to show you what the card, the artist, the print run, and then the rank. As of right now, I can't figure out how to take my Excel file and copy and paste it over to Squarespace to make it look good. So for now, it's going to be an image. I wish it could be searchable, but it's not searchable through Control F at the moment. So I will try to work on a way to get some sort of a graph or a grid up from Squarespace to make this easier. But for now, this is more of a visual to show you where the buying patterns are. So as I mentioned earlier, the margin could be getting squeezed here soon on these in a certain way. But I think if you take all this data and you look at the artist, you look at the players, there's value to be had in certain players and certain artists. But you got to look at it in a couple different ways. So that's why I want to make this data more searchable, so that way you can quickly reference it. You can't really reference an image, but you can look at it. So feel free to save this image, but it'll be updated accordingly. But overall, you can see in the last 13 cards, there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 7 of the past 13 cards have been in the top 10. So you can see the buying patterns. There's a lot of movement right now in this project, or in this release at the moment. Now, will that continue, or is this the middle part? Is this the peak, and then will it drop off as you get through 100, 110, 130? So if I were you, I would bookmark this page. I will update it every day, and this gives you very, very simple reference as far as where the print run lands and where the buying patterns are at. So there's a lot of data here. You can make some educated guesses here on potential buys as they get released just by looking at this sheet. Personally, I have purchased 10 Ichiros for card 62, card 61, which is Willie Mays, and then I did purchase last night 10 Dwight Goodens, and that's just because he's at the bottom of the print run. I understand the one that's getting announced, or it's getting released now, so what, number 65? It will not be down here, but I think there's potential for some Dwight Gooden movement here versus, King Griffey or a Mike Trout in a sense. And then down here is just all the product images. So you can see all the cards. And if you want, you can click on them, and it just takes you obviously to a black screen with the photo, and you can just scroll through. So very, very easy, very, very easy to look at. And they are organized by player, but they're not in any kind of order in a sense other than I put Ichiro first. So that was it. The one that I like the most, and I'm going to go back and pick these up. Some reason I really like these, and I think it's because of the 3 lines. So all of this design, as you know, I'm a big fan of number 3. So I really like this simple, clean design, and every card has 3 lines on it from a design perspective. So I think I'm going to go back and pick up all of these if I can afford to. I've not looked at the prices of some of these, but I think that's really cool with the 3 lines. So, but anyway, thanks for checking this out. It's on crtsportscards.com, and I'll be updating it every single day a print run gets announced. Now, let's look at Bowman 2020. If I could bother you for a quick second before we talk about Bowman 2020, I'm looking to hit 250 subscribers by the end of next week. Right now I'm at 232. So if you're watching this and not subscribed, please hit that button. I greatly appreciate it. Now, let's get to Bowman 2020. So hey, we're back, and let's talk about Bowman 2020. And I think on my last video I said I was not going to talk about it anymore, but when I was doing my numbers for Project 2020, I was like, hey, this is probably a good time to look at some sales data on Bowman 2020 and see what is trending and how this product is looking overall since I did the video on Monday. So what I've done is I've taken a look at the sales data. I've broken this into 2 groups, April 26th through May 5th. That's basically like pre-release to, a good majority of people having their product. And then I took the last 4 days, so May 6th through May 9th. Now, I understand sample size May 6th to May 9th is not the best sample size, but it does give us in the moment pricing on the cards, and it sort of takes away that pre-release pricing from April 26th through when a lot of people had their product. So I thought it was a good time frame, and I'll continue to look at this as the weeks go by. The one criticism that I received on the video before was, hey, I didn't include any other players, Wit and some other, maybe double A prospects, and not double A from a level perspective, but some guys that could come up. And I think it's too hard to categorize all of the prospects in this. But what I've done in this video, in this number perspective, is add Wit to it. So when you look at the first time frame, April 26th through May 5th, here's what a box is worth from the hits perspective. One Jason Dominguez is $205. One Wit is $69.40. When you look at the sky blue parallels, when you think about getting 12 in a box, the average volume or average sale price is $165. The blues are $34. And the yellows are $33. So basically the same price there. That brings you to a box cost of $506.26. So that is just barely over the purchase price when it comes to the Topps.com pricing and the tax you paid, and then when you take away your fees, you're losing money right now, but you still have all those base cards. And if you hit a second Dominguez or a second Wit, or you had a great parallel, you're probably making a little bit of money. So that was the time frame from April 26th through May 5th. So the last 4 days, what is a box worth now of 2020 Bowman First Edition? And some of the numbers are actually surprising. The sky blue parallels are actually up about $20. You're looking at about $187 for sky blue parallels. The blues are up about $5, $38. The yellows are kind of flush. They're $31 before they were $33. And Wit is basically the same at $69. The biggest challenge you're going to have here is Dominguez's can now be found for $150 on eBay. So that's $50 loss right there. And that's going to wipe away the gain in Sky Blues. So you're down about $25 overall, $30. So a typical box right now, if you're to open it and get the standard parallels and you hit everything on average, you're going to be at $475. And after fees, you're looking at $395. So the singles, some of the parallels have risen a little bit, but the big cards, the Dominguez, the cards that we have to hit in a product like this to make our money back has dropped significantly, and that's the concern with 2020 Bowman is how fast are these parallels going to drop. But surprisingly, the Wits have maintained pace at $70. Now, let's look at the sealed pricing and see if sealed pricing has also gone down in relation to the open product. So here we are, the sealed wax pricing, and we just talked about the singles dropping, Dominguez dropping, but some of the parallels going up. So what does that mean for the sealed wax pricing? The first time frame, so April 26th through May 5th, the average sale price of a sealed box of 2020 Bowman was $720.90. The average sale price from the past 4 days in 2020 Bowman is $721.44. So essentially a wash, a little bit more, a dollar more, something like that, 50 cents more. But essentially, wax pricing in this has stayed exactly the same, but on the back end, the singles have dropped, which means opening this product and making money on it is even more difficult. Buying into a group break in this product and trying to flip it and make money on it is even more difficult now. So if I were you, continue to sit on this sealed. There's been no movement, either positive or negative, in the sealed pricing. It is staying flat at $720, but you're seeing the big names, Dominguez, drop down in the moment with the base cards. So I know it's difficult for some of us to hold this product, but if you're sitting on it sealed, keep sitting on it. Do not open it, because the market on singles is dropping, and I'm afraid that possibly in the future it's going to continue to drop as more releases come out. So if I were you, sit on this sealed. So with that, guys, hopefully you enjoyed my look into my new project of Project 2020, also the update on Bowman 2020. Have a great Mother's Day, have a great weekend, and I will see you all tomorrow.